Hi guys. Okay, so I have a new cold processed soap bar recipe. Let me show you. What we're going to use for this one is real cucumber. So that's actually amazing for the skin. It's very cooling, especially if you have chicken pox and that kind of stuff. It is a really cooling soap. Now, we're going to use real cucumber. We're going to puree it and we're going to put it in the lye so that it really is combined in the whole soap. However, I have two options. If you're going to use, we are only going to use the inside of the cucumber. We're going to peel it, so you will not get any kind of coloring. This is the natural coloring you will get. This light yellowy, maybe a soft hint of green color. So I did use some mica coloring because I just thought it was boring. Just one color and just, yeah, I don't know. You can also use French green clay to keep it 100% natural. And there is a fragrance because we use the cucumber. However, I love a stronger fragrance. So I use 10 milliliters of fresh cucumber fragrance. But that's totally optional. You don't have to, but I love it. So yeah, let's get started. And before we get started, I have the whole recipe written on my blog. You can check it over there, you can print it, you can read it. It's a step-by-step guide, so that it's really helpful. And now let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with peeling the cucumber and cutting it in small pieces. You need 85 grams of peeled, cut up cucumber. Put it in a clean bowl and take 56 grams of water. I have the whole recipe written down on my blog as well, so if you have a hard time understanding my accent or anything, you can read it on there. Now that you add your water, you're going to use your stick blender and make a nice soft puree. Now make sure that you only get the cucumber water in the bowl, in the container. And it needs to be a lye safe container because we're going to add the lye and the water next. So here's my cucumber juice. I'm going to add the lye and the water next. I'm not going to show that process as I do it in the bedroom. But yeah. Here it's all finished. And let me clean up this mess. While that is cooling, we're going to measure our oils. We have the hard oils and the soft oils. I'm going to put them all in one container. We need olive oil, coconut oil, almond oil, argan oil and shea butter. I have the measurements written down on the recipe on my blog. Now we have it all in this container and we're going to put it in the microwave on a low heat. Now that it is all melted, we're going to get a little bit on the side in a paper cup. I just use paper cups as it is easier to clean and throw away. I'm going to add some mica. This is totally optional, so if you don't want to add any color, you don't have to. Now that that is combined, we put it on the side for later. And we are going to take the temperature of both of our oils and our lye. They have to be around 38 to 42 degrees Celsius. They don't have to be the same numbers, but they have to be close. We are also going to use some sodium lactate because we used a lot of soft oils and it will make it just easier to get it out of the mold faster. Now, I don't know what the temperature was, but it clearly wasn't right because I put them away after this. I do remember that the lye was still too hot. And with lye it takes quite a while. There is no problem of making this earlier in the day and making the whole soap later in the evening. At this point they are ready. I use the temperatures again, they are the same temperatures now. I use my fragrance oil. I'm going to add the lye. I use the sift again. Especially now that we use cucumber because as you can see there is still some stuff in there. I use some sodium lactate. And we're going to use the stick blender to mix it all. I want to go to a light trace. I don't want a full trace, just a little bit. And I want to mix the mixture into 2 bowls. And I want to keep one natural and one with the coloring. You can almost see the cold process trace over here. If you have it that it lays just on top, it's perfect. And here you go, you can see it. We're working from light to dark. Give them a little jiggle to see if they're the same. And they are not, so I'm mixing the darker one a little bit more. Now I'm putting them in a mold section by section just because I like them combined like that. But you can do whatever you want. I use my spoon to texture the top a little bit because I don't like a flat top, but if you like that, you can definitely leave it as this. When it's done like this, you put some parchment paper, you wrap it around the mold and you put it in a dark, cold closet for 24 hours. Now we're 24 hours later and we're going to cut them up. I cut my soap loaves into 14 pieces. But if you want them to cut them in 8 pieces or 10 pieces or 20 pieces, that's totally optional for you. Whatever you want, it's your soap. Look how beautiful they are. They are absolutely perfect. And they smell amazing. I like a stronger smell, so I have the fragrance oil, but I love it. Thank you so much for watching, and as I said before, you can watch the whole recipe and step-by-step guidance on my blog. My blog is on www.soroart.com.